Thank you. Senator Cruz, change of subjects. You've called for an end to the renewable fuel standards, which mandate that refineries blend biofuels, including ethanol, into gasoline. As you well know, ethanol is a big industry in this state, $10 billion a year. Last week, Terry Branstad, the popular governor of Iowa, who is in the hall tonight, said that you're bankrolled by big oil and that Iowa voters would be making a mistake supporting you. Why should those voters side with you over the sixth-term governor of this state, sir?
Well, Chris, I'm glad to discuss my views on ethanol and energy. I think God has blessed this country with enormous natural resources, and we should pursue all of the above. We should be developing oil and gas and coal and nuclear and wind and solar and ethanol and biofuels. But I don't believe that Washington should be picking winners and losers, and I think there should be no mandates and no subsidies whatsoever. And indeed, my tax plan that I've introduced, it's available on our website. It's a simple flat tax for everyone. It'll produce enormous economic growth, and it eliminates every mandate, every subsidy, so there's no subsidies for oil and gas, no subsidies for anyone. Now, it is true that there are a bunch of lobbyists and a bunch of Democrats in this state spending millions of dollars trying to convince the people of Iowa that I somehow oppose ethanol. It's not true. I have introduced legislation that would phase out the ethanol mandate over 5 years, but that is in the context of having no mandates whatsoever for anyone. And I would note there's a much more important government regulation to ethanol, and that's the EPA's blend wall that makes it illegal to sell mid-level blends of ethanol and gasoline. I will tear down the EPA's blend wall, which will enable ethanol to expand its market share by up to 60%, all without mandates, all without any government mandates whatsoever through the marketplace. And I'll note finally, Chris, there is a reason that Iowa's Congressman Steve King, perhaps the fiercest defender of farmers in this state, is chairing my campaign, because he understands that I'm committed to a fair and level playing field for every energy source without lobbyists and without Washington picking winners and losers.
Dr. Carson, I'd like to ask you about exactly that issue. Where are you on the mandatory ethanol standard? And precisely this question: should government be in the business of picking winners and losers, or should it be left to the marketplace?
Well, as anyone knows who's been listening to me, I'm very much against the government being involved in every aspect of our lives. Last year, there was an additional 81,000 pages of government regulations. If you stack that up, it would be a 3-story building. This is absolutely absurd. And they've insinuated themselves into everything. Now, as far as the renewable fuel standard is concerned, certain promises were made, certain government contracts were issued, which extend all the way into the year 2022. And I believe that it's probably unfair to withdraw the rug, because people have invested money, people have invested a lot of energy into that. But, we are blessed with tremendous energy in this nation, and we need to be talking about new sources of energy. 70% of our population lives bi-coastally. What about hydroelectric power? We can develop that. We have so much natural gas now, and we can liquefy it, and we can transfer it across the seas. We can make Europe dependent on us instead of Putin putting him back in this little box where it belongs. Those are the kinds of things that we ought to be doing, and, take advantage of the tremendous opportunities in energy that God has given us, not get involved in these little petty arguments, and we can get a lot of them out if we get the government out of our lives.
Doctor